So this is kind of how a horse looks in the winter, right?
Yeah.
You know, hairy, right? But with your scissors, after the snow season, then the mud comes, right? And like right now in the winter, you could actually keep this just to keep them a little warm if you wanted to. But being that we're going to go into the show season and we're going to want to braid and we're going to want to keep them all nice and tidy, we're going to want to pull this so we can braid it and make it look pretty. But for his health, his overall health, these little feathers down here are going to collect dirt and mud, and they're going to end up getting, unless you're going to come and bring them and brush it all the time, no, you're going to want to cut those off. So what I do is I hold it like this and I cut it in the contour of the body. Okay, so I take it like that and I just cut off, not to take the hair completely off because I want a little warmth, but just to take the feathers off. Now some people will completely shave them, but you want to leave a little protection. I just don't want them to get mud and clunk and frozen on there and just left there.
And like mud fever.
Yes, you could end up getting that in the spring. Especially on the white foot, you don't want to leave the mud and caked on. And it's a lot easier to brush off if it doesn't get clunked and knotted on this long hair. Okay, so what I do is I keep it just kind of clipped, and it looks a little nicer if it's cut to the shape. And you can take a clipper to do that as well. Right now we're not doing that just because we don't want to have the electric cord in the water. Okay, so just like that. So when you stand back, it kind of contours and you don't have those long hairs, right? I like to hold on to the long hairs because I don't like to have to sweep it up. That just takes more time.
Okay.
Right? I'm trying to eliminate that time. I have a dull edge scissors, not a pointy scissors, for safety purposes, right? So let's just pretend we'll let you do that in just a second. The next thing is you always want to pull your horse's mane after you work them or after they've exercised. And because it's already long, I'll take the scissors and I'll just cut it, and I'll cut it kind of like this so it doesn't look so blunt. And this way I don't have as much pulling to do. And I won't aggravate the horse as much. So we'll just cut, and I won't cut it where it's going to be per se, because I don't want there to be a blunt cut look. All right, but I do everything on the side that we're going to braid, because I'm trying to train the hair to stay on this side.
So you don't want it to look like you just gave him a side haircut.
No,
okay.
I want it to go
like Cookie.
Right.
I remember that movie. You just gave up and cut it straight across.
Cookie was the Shetland Welsh, and so he has a really thick, and Poncho has, well, he's thick in parts, but because of that, there was just
too much rain.
Doing a Shetland and a pony is just a whole different.
I remember
that. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is you want to have your horse. Can you get me a lead rope?
Yes.
So you want to have your horse untied because they have a tendency. Remember, it doesn't hurt them. However, they do have a tendency to get it is pressure on their head. So I like to start at the top, and I usually do their bridle path with the scissors first. Poncho has had this done tons of times. So their bridle path is going to be, for us, for the jumping world, not the breed specific, we just put about 1 inch to 1/2 inch on top. Okay, and I'm just doing that with the scissors right now, just so I can place where I want the mane to be. You can see they cut, the last person who did this cut a little bit more. And because it's winter and I know his hair is going to grow out a little more, I think I might just leave that. Maybe take a little bit more. But I'm just, like I said, I'm not doing a clipper right now. I will later on, but right now I'm just doing that just to place the halter and know where I'm going to start. Okay? All right. now we're gonna start pulling. So this part right here is, we're going to pull 4 fingers, 4 to 5 fingers. So right now, we're gonna go 5 fingers because this is a lot of hair.
Yeah.
And we don't wanna aggravate him any more than he can tolerate, because this does take a lot of patience. So I put the rope over my neck, not around my neck, just so he knows to stand there. Not all horses understand how to stand. And then I take little bits at a time, and I try to drop the pile in one place because I don't like to make more work for myself since I've got 20 horses to do. And you see he shakes his head because he's like, oh, that pressure's it's kind of like pulling on your ponytail a little bit, like when you're braiding your hair. You know, if somebody put a real tight braid in your hair, like the braids you get on the beach from the ladies.
Or shows.
Yeah, you know. So what I do is I just do a little bit. So I hold the longest piece, I push all the shorter pieces out, I wrap it around, and I pull. And you kind of think to yourself, oh, I'm not doing a lot. But when you brush it all down, you'll notice we're getting shorter.
And thinner sometimes.
And sometimes thinner, right. But you'll get thinner if you take big chunks out. You don't want to take too many big chunks out, especially in a horse like this. And what I do is I just kind of work. You can see he has a big cowlick in his. So what I do is I just work my way down. As you brush it, you'll see how it falls. And that's exactly what you want to do, is see how it falls first. Just take the most obvious long pieces first. See how that was obviously long? And then come back. And it shouldn't really, once you get good at this, it shouldn't really take you more than 10 minutes. It should not take you, Devin, 45 minutes.
What?
To pull a mane. Unless you're doing Nordic. Or Ari. It's a little temperamental.
Sophie was temperamental.
But some horses are worse than others because they don't like to tolerate the pressure. So what you would do is you would obviously do it when they're sweaty after work, so their pores are nice and open, because like Cookie, he had really tiny pores, and it aggravated him. And the other is that, so maybe they can't tolerate it for a very long time, just like I can't tolerate shots. So just do little at a time. You do maybe, like if this horse couldn't tolerate it, maybe this is all we would do. And maybe we do it next time.
And just keep continuously doing it until it's eventually.
Yeah, and then that might take you a week, you know? But if you start doing it this time of year, like we're in February, then by the time you get to April, or actually by the time you get to the beginning of March, you're done, right? If you had a horse but that way you're not using any force, they don't get scared, they understand. And then what you do to keep up with it, you see how I'm just pulling a little like that? And they're like, oh, okay, no big deal. And you do it, like I said, do it after work, and try not to do it when the temperature is below freezing, because that really isn't kind. Plus you're cold too. Things don't usually come out very well when it's cold. Okay, you want to try that now? You can see how this is pretty good.
Yeah.
This is about 5, you know, we could go a little more, but this is looking a lot better, isn't it? Okay, so you're going to hold, you're going to pinch with one hand.
The left-handed will try this.
Oh, okay. And then push with the other hand. Push up. There's your piece you're pulling out, right there. Good. Good. Came out easy, didn't it? Now brush it all down again so it doesn't knot. Yeah, that's good that we're doing it with a left-handed person, because now people can see a left-handed person and a right-handed person do it. So now we're covering everybody. And let's just go ahead and put that right there. There you go. Now, nope. And you can, if he's tolerating it, maybe you can wrap a little bigger piece around, you know? But you never want to take, like, you know, a whole ponytail out. Right? Because that would just be, that's good. Yeah, because that's a lot of hair right in there, isn't it?
I didn't get anything.
You know? Yeah, look at all this hair he's hiding over here. That crazy pony. Yeah, look at that cowlick. He decided to hide all. I think I'm going to, what do we do with that scissors?
I sent that over there.
Okay. long strand over there. Look at where it's going. Don't you even think about pulling my mane.
Brushing it maybe pulls a lot out too.
Yeah, exactly, because you're kind of loosening it up, you know? Oh, now he's looking like Poncho. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thickest part of his mane right there, and that little, where all the hair comes together. That's why I let you do that sometimes. It's hard to wrap around, isn't it? Yeah. Yep. So if it's hard to wrap around, maybe you push too much of it up. Or maybe you're ready to move on. Because look, some of that, you see how it's kind of going that way? So now brush it all down. Let me see it. Watch. You got to be careful, because what will happen is you'll get kind of compulsive in one spot. Okay, so now when we brush it down, can you see how you were doing that one spot? Like you have to step back for a second. And you have to look at that one spot, and then you got to go, oh wait, it's not that one spot, it's actually this spot, right here. And so then you do this spot. And, okay, because what will happen is when you're close, you'll kind of just see that little spot, and then you'll end up doing that spot too much, and then that spot will go. Because it's about how the hair lays, not really about that one specific one piece. You see how I saw that one little spot right there? And so then you step back and you kind of go, which spot's sticking out?
Right there and there.
Yeah, good. Okay, there. Okay? See how I did that? Because if you get too close to it, you'll see things that really aren't there. Well, that are there, but they're there. Nobody's going to be that close. Not even when you're riding them. You're not going to be putting your head that close. If you are, you're falling off, right? You're eating mane. You should never be eating mane. There you go. Now you're getting it. And you can see how I keep kind of straightening it for you like that. So you can, and then I'm kind of taming it, aren't I? Yeah. Now it's starting to look a little bit more like a mane and not a fro. It was looking a little like a fro. There you go. I'd wrap it now. I wouldn't. Yeah, that big feet. Yeah, pull. Hang on it. Put all your weight in it.
There it is. Oh, it got like nothing.
Yeah, you gotta get in it. You can hang on it. Look at him. He kind of likes it now. It's like a massage. He's like, oh, that feels good. Yeah, it's like a neck massage now. Oh yeah, he's getting into it. Sometimes they'll pull against you. They'll be like, oh, that feels good. Oh. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Okay, now hold on to it. Yeah, good job. Now you got it. Yeah, don't be shy. If they're not tossing their head or complaining, they're not worried by it, right? He's not. He doesn't look distressed at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, take that off. Yeah, it's kind of naughty. Yep. There you go. And see, especially if he comes at you a little bit. Sometimes they'll pull against you and help you. Not today, huh, Poncho? That piece needed to come out. That was an old piece. Yeah. Right there. Yep, look at that. Huh? Yeah, that's an old piece. These are old hairs. Oh my goodness. Who's crying? Oh, that's Mark. Yep, good. Now I'd brush it and stand back a second. Yep, try to train that crazy. Yeah. Okay, now which one's sticking out at you?
Down.
Okay. Good. Now brush it, because you got a big hunk that time, huh?
Down.
Good. That's the one that was driving me nuts. Okay, I'd take that whole hunk. Yep. Don't make them too thin, because those ones are, yeah, I'd pull. Hang on it. Oh, Yeah, you got in trouble because you dropped that comb. You should have kept the comb.
Oh,
So you can't do it with your finger, can you? Yeah. Well,
I
that's
have one
all-
with the handle. That's what I'm used to.
Oh, you gotta use this back part. I don't like the handle because I break my hand in it. See that? And keep it straight. And then pull it straight down.
Oh,
Don't pull it this way. Pull it straight down.
that's probably where I wasn't getting anything.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, that was a good job, huh? There we
Calic
go.
annoys me.
I know. It's a short calic, so he's gonna go up until he grows down. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Now let's get here. We're moving now, huh? Look at that. Okay, that's good. Don't go any thinner than that. Go around the comb. Now hold the comb. Yes. Go around the comb and hold the comb straight. Now, yes. You feel what you just did? You use this lever of the comb. Yeah. That was something new we learned. I didn't realize I was doing that until I realized you weren't doing it. Okay, now go here. I would hold that whole piece and I'd only push up 2 times. Now wrap. Yeah. Here. Wrap. Now hold straight. Yep, good. Avoid tape. Thank you, Devin. Thank you. Wrap. Wrap. You can wrap all that. Yeah, now hold it straight. And pull. 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 Put your weight in. Get it wrapped. Gotta get up higher. I think you're short. Pull. Pull.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, the knot. Get a knot. Okay, you watch it? I think it's just where you are in your height.
I can get a stool just over there.
Go get that stool. Make sure it's level. Now pull down. Yes. You're getting it.
That's so much like danger for like that.
Straight. Hold it straight.
There.
That was a good one, huh? There you go.
Here.
Yeah. There you go. Then your chair is not very level, is it?
Yeah, no.
That's it, fingers. Stay level. There you go. Always about a little safety there. My goodness, that
It's
calic.
like
That calic is wild. What's that hair doing over there? That one stand. What is that doing? It's a little, you know what, you can rub your hands together a little, see if it makes a little oil. And then
That's
put
his
your hand,
alfalfa.
yep, and see if that'll, does that put it down?
a little bit.
Do you have oil in your hand, on your hair?
No.
And then she just washed it this morning.
No. Put any product in your hair? Sometimes I do that because I'm always got stuff in my hair. There you go.
That look good?
Huh?
Does that look good? I can go on.
It does. I would move to the section that likes to stick up a little. There we go. Yeah. Now, sometimes when their hair's been a lot longer, like already it looks just a lot better, doesn't it? Okay, so sometimes what you can do is be like, oh, this looks better, and you can leave it like this. Or what some people like to do is they like to go really a little extra shorter, knowing that in a week and a half it's going to look long again, right? Or some people do this, and then like next weekend they'll pull it again. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's up to you. I have a tendency to go, depending on my day, I'll go real short and then do touch-ups as I'm as I get off. I'll pull my horse's mane a little and whatever.
So like leave like this and then.
Like Nord grows hair like crazy, so when I go to pull it, I'll pull it. Have the girls pull it extra short because I hate pulling. It's kind of up to you, but it looks to me like poncho doesn't grow that fast. This time of year, they really shouldn't grow that fast. But I got a feeling sometimes when their mane hasn't been maintained and you pull it, it kind of stimulates it. And being that we have more light right now, they're like shedding and then their hair is coming in and out, and he just might have a burst of growth the next week, and you'll be like, oh man, I just pulled it. Yeah. So it's up to you, but it looks so much better already.
Looks a lot better.
I guess I can leave it like this and then do it like next Saturday on my free day.
Or just, make sure every time you ride him that you're brushing it back over on this side, so you're kind of training it over here. That in it, because if you pull it too short right now, it's going to flip to the other side. That's the other thing is right now leaving a little weight on it is going to train it to stay over on this side.
Or like some people with short manes, they just braid it but don't roll it and it trains it.
Yes. And you need this weight if you're training it. You need it this long to weight it on this side. Do you understand me? So I would probably, thinking about all the calyx in this crazy horse's mane, is use the weight and let's leave it this weight. And just every time you're riding him, brushing it over. And then
so like when I'm grooming him, just take a mane comb and
just brush it over here on this side, because it'll probably flip back.
Yeah, it looks way better now. It looks straighter.
Yeah, he just looks a little more kept, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And then you can practice cutting his little feathers. And then we probably want to take a little rag now that we have water and wipe his runny eye. He's got that one eye that likes to run a little bit.